This TV Spotlight features a wide range of different types of television shows, including some that are particular favorites of mine. First up, we have Glee Season 2, Volume 1. Now, the only thing I'll say about this that's negative is if you're going to buy the Glee shows on DVD, you probably want to wait because we know from the first season they're going to eventually release it in a complete season set, and they're also going to do so on Blu-ray. So you may want to hold off on buying this particular set. That being said, I love, love, love Glee. It is a fantastic show. I know some of the critics have really kind of decried the second season for taking a major hit in quality. I don't see it. I love this show. I think it's as funny, as moving, as dramatic, as musical, and as brilliant as it ever was. It really is just a fantastic show, and I'm very glad to see it getting some nice Emmy love with both Jane Lynch and Chris Colfer winning Emmys just recently for their performances, as they are both fantastic, and really everybody on the show is terrific. In fact, I find telling that the least interesting character on the show is actually Leah Michelle's character, who I think plays a thinly veiled version of herself. So this is a 3-disc set. It gives you the first 10 episodes of Season 2, including the Rocky Horror episode, and the Britney Spears episode. Let's not overlook that piece of pop culture brilliance. It really was a great episode. And there are a number of special features. Glee has been great with special features so far. You get a Glee music jukebox, an exclusive bonus song making its DVD world premiere, the making of the Rocky Horror episode, Getting Waxed with Jane Lynch featurette, The Wit of Britney, and Glee at Comic-Con 2010. A terrific set. Almost as terrific as The Twilight Zone Season 3 on Blu-ray. I've reviewed the first 2 seasons of The Twilight Zone released from CBS, DVD, and Image Entertainment, and they are just fantastic. And this set is no different. I mean, of course, the show itself is terrific. Rod Serling's, genius creation that is basically never going to die. I mean, The Twilight Zone will never not be a part of the public consciousness, and you watch the episodes in this set, and it's very easy to see why, because it's just fantastic television. It's great genre television, it's great morality tales, great character studies. I mean, it's really one of the few anthology shows of all time that worked on such an amazing level. And on this Blu-ray set, you get all 37 episodes of the 3rd season, and as with the previous collections, the extra features are really what drives this set. Here are the new special features exclusive to Blu-ray: 19 audio commentaries, an interview with actor Edison Stroll, an original laugh track for one of the episodes, a vintage audio interview with the show's director of photography, 19 radio dramas featuring all sorts of big-name stars like Don Johnson and Ernie Hudson, Adam West, Michael York, Blair Underwood, Jason Alexander, based on Twilight Zone, and then isolated scores for all 37 episodes, including Bernard Herrmann's score. On top of that, you also get previously released extra features, including audio commentary by Jonathan Winters for the A Game of Pool episode, plus Jonathan Winters reading the alternate ending from the original script. You get a clip from the 1989 remake of A Game of Pool, a clip from the 1985 remake of Dead Man's Shoes, which features Helen Mirren, vintage audio interviews, a rare Rod Serling guest appearance on The Gary Moore Show, as well as Tell It to Groucho, and a game show called Liars Club, and a few other extra features as well. So all of that stuff, plus the show has been remastered in high definition. It looks fantastic. It sounds fantastic. Of course, it's mono, so you're not getting anything in terms of surround sound, but it's good, clean audio. Picture quality is as best as you're going to see The Twilight Zone, and really there's just nothing bad about this set at all. It is definitely highly recommended. Next up, we have Dark Skies, the declassified complete series, starring a young Eric Close, who you probably know from Without a Trace. I really wanted to fall in love with Dark Skies. It's kind of a post-X-Files show that sees sort of an alien invasion of the United States from that sort of early 60s perspective, and it's all conspiracies and classified this and classified that. And what it tries to do is present these stories as if they were parts of real American history. And so it sort of takes a young Indiana Jones approach in a way, with our protagonist meeting all sorts of famous luminaries and political figures from the 60s, which is great. And the show is not bad, but it's not great either. It's a little bit slow in places, and the special effects certainly don't hold up now. It came out in the mid-90s, and it just sort of doesn't quite get that X-Files level of quality that it needed, I think, to survive in that television atmosphere. It certainly is a fun show to watch. I'm glad it's available on DVD. It is the complete series. I just wish that I had been able to really fall in love with it a little bit more. Having never watched it originally, I was hoping to come across it on DVD and really embrace it. But as it is, it's kind of a neat, fun show that took a slightly different approach to the alien invasion storyline. It does come with a good number of special features, including an international pilot, cast and creator commentaries, a 3-part making of documentary, a Dark Skies glossary, network promos, the original sales presentation, a neat, never before seen proposal for season 2 for those of you fans out there who want to know what was going to happen, and a nice booklet about the show as well. So some fun stuff there. Next up, we have Huge, the complete series. This was the ABC Family series starring Nikki Blonsky about teenagers at a fat camp that failed to find an audience, which I'm a little bit surprised about, but then I'm not. I mean, the ABC Family shows are all about pretty teenagers doing horrible things to each other. Things like Make It or Break It, Secret Life of the American Teenager. Huge doesn't really fit in with that aesthetic. It's not a glamorous show, but what I will give them credit for is finding a good, authentic teenage voice. I do feel like the characters in the show really do go through some of the things that typical teenagers go through. The problem with that is most typical teenagers don't want to watch their own experiences on television. They want to watch heightened melodramatic experiences like you see on Secret Life and Pretty Little Liars and things like that. So that's probably why the show didn't make it. But all 10 episodes are included here. You also get audio commentaries, featurettes, a blooper reel, 2 music videos, and a few other goodies. Next up, we have The New Adventures of Robin Hood, the complete first season, and this is a Warner Archive release, so you can only get it online via the Warner Archive. And this is basically that early 90s Robin Hood show that kind of took a cue from Xena and Hercules and tried to present a low-budget, fun, campy Robin Hood series, and that's exactly what it is. I mean, you have to kind of have an affinity for that kind of television to like this show, and I do. I enjoy sort of that cheesy, campy TV stuff. So, and I've always loved Robin Hood, so I can watch the show and enjoy it for what it is, even though there are times when I cringe, because it can be painfully bad sometimes. The cast is fine. There's really no standout people in the cast, but there's nobody terrible either. The scripts are okay. It's kind of one of those things you just sort of have to embrace the cheesiness of it. It does suffer a little bit in some of the more outlandish parts of the storyline that happen throughout the season. I won't tell you what they are, but trust me when I tell you, there will be some things that will happen that will have you rolling your eyes. And for that, I apologize. If you're a purist Robin Hood fan, I do not recommend this set. But if you like some of those shows like Briscoe County Jr. and Jack of All Trades and Xena and Hercules, you might want to give this one a shot. It can be fun at times. Like most Warner Archive DVDs, there are no extra features, unfortunately. Next, we have Top Shot, the History Channel reality show, very Survivor-inspired. So Survivor-inspired, in fact, that Colby Donaldson, one of the Survivor luminaries, is the host of the show. And this basically follows a group of sharpshooters going through shooting and targeting competitions until only one shot is left. And it's a show that's kind of a neat concept, and I really wanted to like it, but it's a little bit dull, and here's why. The competitions are neat. The shooting competitions are cool. Although there's only so much that you can really show. You can't actually see a bullet firing. You can watch a guy fire a gun and you can see a target explode, but you can't see the entire process. But more than that, the problem is there's only one female on the show, and the rest of them are guys, and they're all guys who are kind of similar people. A lot of ex-military, a lot of people who are into shooting. With the exception of a couple of people who kind of stand out, a lot of the personalities are the same, and reality television lives and dies by the drama created by clashing personalities. And while there are clashes here, it's just not as interesting as a traditional reality show could be. But that being said, it isn't terrible. It's certainly enjoyable to watch some of the challenges. You do get the entire season here, plus you get a bonus disc that includes additional footage over an hour's worth, contestant bios, and elimination interviews. So some extra bang for your buck there. Finally, we have Spin City, the complete 4th season. This is Michael J. Fox's last season, sadly, but this is a great show. I always loved this show. I love watching it now and seeing, Richard Kind, especially seeing Connie Britton before she went on to do Friday Night Lights. She's fantastic in this show. The cast is great, and this was, of course, the season that Heather Locklear joined the cast. I think maybe to help offset Michael J. Fox's reduced time commitment. And she's fine. I never found Heather Locklear to be anything special. She doesn't add too much to the show, but she doesn't take away from it either. But it is great to see Michael J. Fox back in action for a show that I haven't seen in many years, except for on DVD, because it doesn't really air that much on TV nowadays. This Shout Factory release doesn't have any extra features, unfortunately, but you do get about 10 hours of really good comedy. And this was one of the seasons that won Michael J. Fox an Emmy for Best Outstanding Lead Actor, and it is well deserved.